Hi, Mark Pope here, bounty hunter, Napa, California. I'm sitting here today with Tony Terlato, the author of this great book called Taste. And Tony, this is absolutely a wonderful book, and let's move into the interview.
Thank you very much, Mark.
So the book, tell me a little bit about the book.
I said to our public relations department that I didn't see any need to write a book because I didn't have anything very interesting to talk about. And about a month later or so, we were having lunch with somebody, and we were talking about the 50s and the 60s and what it was like, and so on. And so I was talking about, well, you know, Robert and I remember one night we left the Sherman House, and he said, Tony, someday there's going to be a bottle of wine on every table in a restaurant. You know, and we said, oh boy, I can't wait for that to happen. And it was kind of a dream. And I talked about, you know, things like that. And she said to me, you know, you have no idea. You know, you go to France, you go to Sauterne, you have lunch with Alexandre Ursulus. Right. He serves a bottle of Chateau Yquem from your birth year because you were both born in the same year, 7 days apart. And you think that does it mean something to somebody else?
Absolutely.
You think those things are not important? Baron Philippe de Rothschild, you have lunch with him and he serves you 1897 Mouton Rothschild. How many times do you think he brings out about 1897? So the fact that you feel that you don't make an impact, the fact of the matter is that you really do. Sure. And then I want to tell you this, if you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for your sons.
Yeah,
because
well,
they're both in your business.
Nothing like legacy.
Give them, and I realized, she reminded me that of the 100 oldest businesses in the world, 3 of them
are wine businesses.
Wineries.
Isn't that amazing?
Riccasoli, 1143, Antinori, 1206, Frescobaldi, 1209.
Amazing.
Okay.
Absolutely amazing.
42 generations of
something
people.
that endures.
I'm 3 generations.
There you go.
All right. How can I get to the 4th one if we don't have a good 3rd one? Okay. And she said, you have an opportunity to write your story.
Tell the story.
And she says, how many people are there still in the industry that had lunch and dinner with all those people?
Well, the perfect segue into my next question, in that you've been around this game for a while. So what do you see for the next 10 years in the wine business?
Well, the wine business, let's take the economy out of the situation right now. Wine is accepted socially everywhere. In the 50s and the 40s, immigrants drank wine, and also they brought the culture and they made a lot of it themselves. Zinfandel and Muscat mixed together, and they would crush it and bottle it and put it in a whiskey bottle.
There you go.
In a Christmas decanter is where the wines you stand up in. So it's a long time from there. Wine follows gastronomy.
You bet.
There's no, when people learn to eat in a particular way and they start to prepare food in a particular way, it's the beginning of them saying, I need to have a beverage with this other than water. Absolutely. And sooner or later, then it becomes not just to have a red wine, but this red wine. With beer, people will go in and say, let me have a beer. Sure. And then later on, I remember in one of the places, you have draft beer? Yeah, I'll have a draft beer. And then it was, what draft beer do you have? Okay? And this is the evolution. This is the natural evolution that happens. There are people that drink wine like they do milk and orange juice. As long as it's reasonably priced and it tastes good, they don't really care the origin of it, okay? And there's a lot of people that drink wine that way. This wine is very nice, it tastes very nice to me. What we're looking for, and I know that you think the same way, we're looking for that next person to say, oh, I really like this. Where does it come from?
You bet.
Or what is it made from?
Sure.
And is this a blend or is this...
exactly.
Some of the questions in your shop today, they asked, is this a blend? The devil speak, is this a blend or is this 100% say? No, I said, this is a blend. So all those things are starting. And so you go from the person that drinks milk and never asks the restaurant, where did the milk come from?
What's that cow's name?
You just drink the milk. Sure. There was a time when they ordered a glass of wine, didn't care where it came from.
You bet.
Today, people are paying attention. Oliver Wendell Holmes wrote, the mind stretched to a new dimension never goes back to its original shape.
There we have it.
And it's the same. I have that hanging in my office because once you are exposed to a better wine, it's very difficult. It's like when I used to buy shoes, when I had the first really good pair of shoes that
Right.
was comfortable.
Mhm.
I never could go back to Tom McCann shoes.
Never again.
anymore, okay?
Absolutely.
So, and wine very definitely is that
You
way.
bet. Well, it's one thing you know everybody wants to go backwards on.
Right, exactly. And look at the wine books that are in circulation today.
Amazing.
If you go into Barnes and Noble or any of those places,
It's become a big area.
Yeah, the space allocated to wine and food
Mhm.
is
Significant.
is significant as compared to, you used to have to struggle to find
Sure.
a wine book 25, 30 years ago.
Well, that's
So,
fantastic. Well, I want to say this, Tony. I want to thank you for suffering on our behalf.
Oh,
It sounds like you've eaten
kind of
pretty well and
suffering
drank pretty
that
well. It's a good world, and it's a great, wonderful thing.
Right,
Wine.
and it's a great time for us to be involved in this because we're really seeing a wonderful explosion.
Well, you know, we're seeing a tremendous amount of. Granted, the economy has something to do with this,
Yes.
but we're seeing an explosion on our stay-home wine trade.
Yes, of course,
And
sure.
people are having much more interest in learning to make great foods and
Right.
the companion wines that go well with these foods. And it's, you know, you make the best you can.
Oh, sure.
Whatever
And,
it is.
you know, the economy is going to change. It never stays the same.
That's
It's
right.
just a matter how long, how long will it stay this way. But it's
Right.
going to change. And, people that are accustomed to, a fine cashmere or a really important wool,
Sure.
they might get off that for a little while and buy
Right.
synthetic. But the first chance they get to
Right
go
back to quality.
they're the first ones that go back, and
Yeah.
they'll bring a lot of good people with them, too.
Absolutely.
So
That'll happen.
we can consider ourselves lucky.
I think so.
Okay.
It's been a
It's
pleasure.
a pleasure.
Tony. It's always good
It's
to
a
see
pleasure.
you.
You're terrific for this industry, let me tell you.
Well, thank you. Nice of you to
Big
say.
help for me.
Terrific.